Andres and I'm in Riga. I am Philip and I'm currently in Vienna.
I'm Sungwanji from Seoul.
Hi, I'm Isa. I'm currently in Eindhoven. This is OnHold, our weekly exploration of stigmergic principles.
The first issue revolves around the use of space in the home, where we analyzed our tracks in one of its most functional spaces, the kitchen. We then let our movements determine the amount of coffee we brewed. The stigmergic principles of simple rules, repetition and an unplanned result were influenced by a number of environmental factors, such as the size of the kitchen. The final amount of coffee represented an alternative way to visualize our use of space. This introduction of a simple repetitive task in our daily routines did not trigger any larger mechanisms or processes, motivating us to introduce cooperative action and mutual influence.
The output of one person's work became the input for the next, generating a chain-like collaborative process. Starting from the creation of additional shapes and graphics, we tackled breakfast through a mutually influenced step-by-step process. Shared roles imitated stigmergic systems, as each step of the process required an adaptive response from the others, who had to optimize the resources they were presented with. As we built our actions upon each other's choices, we experienced the role of empathy through the development of a shared responsibility toward the common goal. This pushes us to participate in each other's environments on a larger scale.
As lockdown loosened its grip, we stepped outdoors to observe how a lack of personal control can influence the way we perceive the natural and built environment. Our first task tracked the obstacles we encountered walking northwards along a straight trajectory. Mutual influence was introduced once again as we applied the principles we had previously tested to collaborative routes. The distribution of roles allowed us to virtually discover each other's locations, which were documented through different media, encouraging us to search for new mediums that can accommodate stigmergic mechanisms.
Looking for new platforms and channels, we came to understand the role that informal radio broadcasting had as a social stimulant, acting as a catalyst for large, uncoordinated processes of change. Up until now, although we introduced a number of external factors, our empiric approach was limited to the four of us. We want to see what kind of results we can achieve if the principles we observed in these past weeks were broadcasted or streamed externally, inspired by the legacy of counterculture radio. By opening experiments to a larger, unidentified audience that is able to respond and interact, we can aim for an open-ended system influenced by each participant. This possibility for coordination on a larger scale also comes into play as we reflect on a possible end result in the context of a museum exhibition. By experimenting with radio frequencies, broadcasting, and online streaming, we will be able to study language and sound to experience what these mediums have to offer from an informational point of view, generating stigmergic processes that can be layered with daily life practices.
Bye!
Bye. So long.
Bye.